one man's darkest secret will destroy everything he holds dear. Friendships will be tested, marriages will crumble, and the truth will reveal a legacy tainted by the color of shame.
Mandy swung open the doors of the shopping mall, glad to get out of the freezing weather. Her eyes scanned the length and breadth of the mall as she usually did, to see if she would find acquaintances to chit-chat with as they shopped together. She immediately saw a hairline that looked like her husband's over the shelves. Indeed, he was the one. She smiled and walked quickly towards him. A couple went ahead of her and she stopped for them. Then she saw her husband fondly leading a pregnant Caucasian woman towards the cashier counter. He might be helping her with a difficulty, she said to herself, so she walked up to him with her usual infectious smile. Her husband's countenance changed suddenly, a quick switch from shock, fear, confusion to forced calmness. He quickly reached into his pocket, fished out his phone, and moved away to receive a call. Then Mandy heard the woman call to him.
Foley, I just found what I had been looking for.
She knew his name. Who was she? The woman pushed the trolley up to Foley and patted him on the back to show him the item. He muttered an excuse to the woman and came over to Mandy, who was waiting with tons of questions to ask him.
You didn't tell me you were coming to the mall today?
I always shop on my days off, and you know that. Who's the lady?
Never mind. Let's get home first.
Foley gestured to her to be patient and strode away. Mandy frowned after them as Foley gently led the woman to the counter. Strange, she wondered. Was Foley having an affair? Was her husband about to have a child with a white woman? What was going on? She paid for her groceries and walked out of the mall to find them gone. On the way home, she pondered over the scene. Did their friends know about Foley and the lady? She parked the car and began to dial two of their friends, but she put the phone away. Not yet. It was best to talk to her husband first. Otherwise, she might be spreading misinformation about her own marriage. So, after supper, when she had put the children to bed, she asked Foley again, when he did not seem ready to open up about the encounter at the mall.
Who was the woman I saw you with? Are you having an affair with her?
Then and there, Foley went on his knees before her.
What's that for?
Mandy, hear me out.
Foley, what is this display for? I only asked who the lady was.
It was a mistake. You see, pregnancies are the mistakes we men make.
That sounded like a confession. Her husband had been cheating on her with another woman, and she was carrying his child. He had made a blunder as grievous as this, and he believed it was justified because it was a mistake men make.
Mandy, please. I didn't mean to. It was just one of those flings.
What a frivolous thing to say. Did we come here to have a little fun with the opposite gender? Or we came here to work and better our lot back home?
Foley had made quite a name for himself, for his flirty conduct wherever he worked. His infidelity to Mandy was indeed known to their acquaintances, who would not want to interfere with someone else's marriage. Life was difficult as it was in a foreign land to break up other people's relationships. They needed each other's support to thrive in a strange land. Wilma's pregnancy was Foley's nemesis. When he lost his job again, he found it difficult to tell Mandy. He met Wilma on one of his job hunts and narrated a sob story to her, which she completely believed. She operated a small nightclub downtown. She also came into contact with quite a number of immigrants who came seeking jobs as waiters, cleaners, factory workers, and even watching over people's pets. And they were often homeless. Foley's story followed a similar pattern, so she had pity on him. Shortly, she grew fond of him. Besides, she had no man to call her own, and Foley came in handy. Foley felt comfortable in her company, and he never made known his marital status to Wilma. His dilemma began when she got pregnant, and she asked him to move in with her. Wilma was 42 years old, and that was going to be her first child. How could he ever tell Mandy this story of betrayal? He planned to go back home to Ghana before the two women found out about his deception, but he had no work, thus no money of his own to pay for his fare back home. He was indeed trapped. Leaving his marital home during the day was normal, because everyone had somewhere to go, but leaving Wilma's in the evening was his predicament, so he told her he had gotten a job as a night guard across town. And this worked well for him. He would come home to his wife and two kids in the evening and go to Wilma during the day. Now there he was that evening, facing his wife of 15 years with such a colossal disclosure. Mandy ignored his pleas.
Foley, you came here on my ticket. Have I ever made you feel indebted to me?
Mandy traveled to the UK on scholarship for a degree program in nursing. She got a job afterwards and invited her husband of 10 years to join her. It was then that they started a family, now having a 5- and 2-year-old sons. Unfortunately, Foley could not get a permanent residency, no matter how much they tried to process his papers. He had always been between jobs, so she was the sole breadwinner of the family. She felt extremely betrayed. That same evening she asked him to move out of the apartment.
No, Mandy, this will be scandalous. Give me some time to put things right.
How would you put right an 8-month-old pregnancy with a woman? I guess you would love to go stay with her all the days of your life, huh?
Please don't do this to me.
She hurried into the kitchen, about to lose control over her emotions. She crumbled into a chair, shedding bitter tears. Foley followed her. In an attempt to hold her, she yelled at him and picked a rolling pin from the counter.
If you dare touch me, I'll break your head and stitch it myself. Shameless man. Get out of here and go to your mistress. You have broken my trust. You've broken our vows. And you've broken our marriage. Get out. Go to her. Since you've now become an advocate for cheating husbands and well-versed in the mistakes men make, go and find an advocacy group for men cheaters and hold their flag high. I don't have space here for such an ungrateful man. Leave.
She barred the door after him. Foley came home the next evening, and the locks to Mandy's apartment had all been changed. He went to Wilma and told another lie. He had lost his job again. So for the next 5 years, Foley lived with Wilma and their son until she was caught cheating with another man. Foley caused a scene, and he was kicked out of her apartment. He went back to Mandy, but she had moved. He found the new address and went there one evening, drunk. She banged the door in his face. He hollered into the keyhole asking for forgiveness. With nowhere to go to, he slept at bus stops and doorways, and sometimes with his new-found drunken friends, doing odd jobs just to survive. Although Mandy refused to take him back, she was torn between bitterness and forgiveness for the father of her 2 children, the man she fell in love with 2 decades ago, and for the kind-hearted and compassionate person she was. She did not file for divorce. Otherwise, Foley would be jailed or deported for breaching the laws of the land of sojourn. When Foley finally decided to return to Ghana, it was his longtime friend Arye who bought his plane ticket for him. He returned home with nothing to his name.